Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to learn about several verb endings, which we can use to add emotion or additional meaning to our sentences. The first verb ending we're going to be learning about is neo, which can be used to show surprise. Here's how to use it. Get the verb stem. Then attach ne, followed by 요. In casual speech, the 요 is not added. For example, you could say, 이 김치가 정말 맵네요. This kimchi is really spicy, and I'm surprised. 둘 다 맛있네요. Both taste good, and I'm surprised. 이 방법은 좀 느리네요. This method is a little slow, and I'm surprised. Or if the verb stem ends with lir, remove the lir and attach neo. For example, 멀다, meaning to be far, would become 머네요. Next, let's learn another verb ending that you can use to express that you want the listener to agree with what you're saying. For that, use 조. To do that, get a verb stem and attach 조. In casual speech, use 지 instead of 조. For example, 한국말이 어렵죠. Korean is difficult, right? 하지만 이 문법은 쉽지. But this grammar is easy, isn't it? 화장을 했죠. You put on makeup, right? And next, to express that you feel especially curious to know the answer to a question, use either 나요 or 가요. Here's how to do that. For action verb stems, attach 나요. In casual speech, the 요 is not added. But for descriptive verb stems, attach 은가요 if it ends in a consonant, or attach a nian followed by 가요 if it ends in a vowel. In casual speech, the 요 is not added. For example, 지금은 너무 이른가요? Is now too early? And I'm really curious to know. 상관없나요? Does it not matter? And I'm really curious to know. 오늘은 시간이 많은가요? Do you have a lot of time today? And I'm really curious to know. However, if the verb stem ends with lir, remove the lir and attach nian followed by 가요 for descriptive verb or 나요 for action verbs. So 길다, to be long, would become 긴가요. And 살다, to live, would become 사나요. If the verb stem ends with a piup, remove piup and attach 우, followed by a nian and then 가요. So 맵다, to be spicy, would become 매운가요. And last but not least, to express that you've just realized something, use 군요 at the end of your sentence. Here's how to do that. Get a verb stem and attach 군요. In casual speech, the 요 is not added. For example, 좀 이상하군요. That's a little strange, and I've just realized it. 그렇군요. It is so, and I've just realized it. Or I realize now that it is. 역시 오늘도 잊었군. Not surprisingly, or as I expected, you forgot today too, and I've just realized it. However, if you're using an action verb, and only if it's in the present tense, attach 는 before 군요. For example, 하다, to do, would become 하는군요. If the action verb stem ends with a lir, remove the lir. For example, 살다, meaning to live, would become 사는군요. Okay, so we've just learned 4 new verb endings that we can attach at the end of our sentences to add some additional emotion. So let's take a look at some example sentences using all 4 of these forms. 와, 대단하네요. Wow, that's great. And I'm surprised. 이 참치가 맛있죠? This tuna tastes delicious, doesn't it? 빌리 씨의 고향은 어디에 있나요? Where's your hometown, Billy? And I'm really curious to know. 아버지는 생선을 사러 슈퍼에 가셨군요. Oh, I now realize that Dad went to the supermarket to buy fish. 꽃이 진짜 많네. There are really a lot of flowers, and I'm surprised at this. 내가 정보를 이미 알려줬지. I already let you know the information, right? 누가 청소를 했나? Did someone vacuum? I'm really curious. 관심이 하나도 없군. Oh, I now realize you're not interested even one bit. Alright, so now we've done some examples, let's take a look at an example conversation using these new forms. We have two people here, 재범 and 영재. First, 재범 says, 영재 씨, 해물 좋아하세요? 영재, do you like seafood? 네, 많이 좋아하는데요. 왜요? Yes, I like it a lot. Why? 이거 좀 드셔보세요. Try this, or literally, try eating some of this. 이게 뭐죠? What is this? 진짜 맛있네요. It tastes really good. 맛있죠? It tastes good, right? 이거 오징어예요. This is squid. 우리 엄마가 직접 잡으셨어요. My mother caught it herself. Or literally, my mother caught it personally. 아, 어머님이 잡으셨군요. 아, I realize your mother caught it. 어머님은 그런 기술을 어디서 배우셨나요? From where did your mother learn that kind of skill? Or where did your mother learn that kind of skill? As in catching squid. 하하, 저도 모르겠어요. I wouldn't know either. 다음에 어머님이 낚시를 하러 가시면 같이 가시죠. Next time when my mom goes to do fishing, let's go together. Note that the honorific ending, 으시다, can also be combined with 조, as 으시조. This can be used as an honorific way or just a very polite way to suggest that someone does something, like saying let's. 네, 좋아요. Yes, that's good.
영재 씨, 해물 좋아하세요? 네, 많이 좋아하는데요. 왜요? 이거 좀 드셔보세요. 이게 뭐죠? 진짜 맛있네요. 맛있죠? 이거 오징어예요. 우리 어머니가 직접 잡으셨어요. 아, 어머님이 잡으셨군요. 어머님은 그런 기술을 어디서 배우셨나요? 하하, 저도 모르겠어요. 다음에 어머님이 낚시를 하러 가시면 같이 가시죠. 네, 좋아요.
Alright, before we go, I have a few notes. Specifically, let's take a look at 나요 and 가요. These conjugation rules that we've learned actually only apply in the present tense. In the past tense, however, both action verb stems and descriptive verb stems will simply attach 나요 to the end. For example, present tense, 할머니가 아프신가요? Is grandmother sick? But in the past tense, 할머니가 아프셨나요? Was grandmother sick? So just use 나요 unless you're in the present tense. But there's one more thing. It's common for descriptive verb stems to also end with just 나요, even in the present tense, if that verb stem ends with a consonant. For example, take the verb 맵다, to be spicy. It could either become 매운가요, is it spicy? Or because it ends in a consonant, it could also become 맵나요, is it spicy? However, because both 나요 and 가요 are used, you'll still need to learn both forms. Alright, so we learned a lot in this lesson, especially how to use those 4 verb endings to add some extra emotion to our sentences. So practice everything here and I'll see you again in the next lesson. 그럼 다음에 또 봐!